Good afternoon. So I've had a bit of a downer today. Don't know. I mean, I've been working really hard all week, and to the last 2 days of the week I am in school, and school is always really hard because kids can be kids. So yeah, I had a bit of a rough one today, just thinking, shit. It's really really easy to get sucked into like self-loathing thoughts and things these days, but I find talking about it helps quite a lot. So thank you for joining me. But I'm not going to talk about that because I'm on an upturn now. I think things are going well. The caffeine's kicked in. So I think what I want to do, perhaps this is going to be a new series, perhaps it's not. I've not really decided yet. But I'm going to come on and basically give you some horror stories from when I was working at Games Workshop. This is something that has a lot of people intrigued a lot of the time. I think enough time has passed now where I can, whilst I'm not naming names, or names of locations and things, I can definitely uncover some of the other stories that I've come across in my time. Stories that are to do with the customer, not so much Games Workshop themselves. Because oh boy, are there a lot of fun times to be had when you're running a Games Workshop store. So the first one I want to talk about is the Titan guy. You can already hear the smile in my voice probably. So the Titan guy was a fellow who turned up to my store, a lovely man, turned up to my store in a coat, shorts and sandals in the pouring rain. Very portly gentleman, and walks in, very tall, walks in, says, "I've come here for a battle." That's it. Now me, standing there in my Games Workshop t-shirt, with a bunch of kids around me who are starting out in the hobby, like, hey, Space Marine's cool, on Tau cool, on I was actually at the time I was trying to convince this kid had seen Dark Eldar and thought they were really good, and his mate said they were rubbish. The Space Marines are the best, and I was like, no, you do what you want to do, you go and So I was just basically selling him some Drakari, and this guy comes and goes, "I've come for a battle," and I just looked at him like, okay, all right, fine. I mean, do you have any friends with you? That sort of thing. And he goes, "Not with me." And I was like, "Okay, right, all right. I'm not trying to say you've got no friends. There's no need to jump on the, I was like, okay, no worries, no worries. So are you looking to play someone in the store or Yeah. Okay, fine. Now bear in mind, so I let him walk in and do what he wants to do, and left him to it. Introduce myself, and he says, yeah, I don't need that. Right, so I've just introduced myself at this point. I'm not trying to sell him anything. So yeah, I'm Dean, by the way. Nice to meet you. I don't need that. Okay, right, okay, cool, that's fine. So we're now talking away, we're gabbing away, and I'm gabbing somebody else, and he comes over, slams some glue down, says, "Can I buy this?" Yeah, fine. And I'm thinking, oh, do you know what? At least he's buying something from the store, And I'm like, yeah, he's buying something from the store because he wants to play a game, and that's fine. So I've sold him the glue. He then starts gluing something together in his pack, whatever he's doing. And he moves over to the gaming table. Now, bear in mind, our gaming tables are, in Games Workshop, at this point, they are 4x4 as standard. Now, this isn't my choice of gaming table. In fact, when I'm fairly certain people aren't going to come visiting the store, I will have a 4x6x4, basically. I'll convert it into a 6x4, even though we're not allowed to do that. Because 4x4 tables are silly, unless you're playing Kill Team or something, which is basically what HQ wanted us to do, is play smaller games, introductory games, and not let anybody come in and play normal games, because they don't spend very much money. And that is true. That is very true. But also, I think the hobby's about more than, sometimes you're providing a service. Our models cost enough money, we should be providing another service as well, which is, you can come in and play some games. But anyway, beyond that, he starts talking to one of these kids in the corner. It's fine, all cool. And he agrees to play a game with him. Okay, fine. And this kid says to him, "Oh, so what are you playing?" And he goes, "Oh, I'm playing Imperials." Right, doesn't tell you what it is, it says Imperials. Okay, cool. He leaves the store, goes to the back of his van, opens the back of his van, pulls out a trolley, and on this trolley is a Titan. Now, I don't know whether you've seen the size of Titans. This isn't a Warhound Titan, this is a full-on, Forge World, nearly grand's worth of kit. Or at least I think it is. When he actually crosses the threshold with it, it's custom made. This isn't something that he's bought from Forge World, so it's not even something that Games Workshop have provided him. It's got Games Workshop bits on it, but it's something that's clearly been sculpted and molded, worked very hard on, but it's not something that we sell in the store, and it's not something Games Workshop even sell. So he reels it up to the table and goes to put it on the table, and at this point, I'm a bit miffed. I'm a little bit miffed, because this guy's had an attitude since he's walked into the store. I'm not very backwards about coming forwards as a person when I feel someone's being a dick. So I walked over and I said, excuse me, what are you doing? And he says, I'm playing a game. And I'm like, on a 4x4 table with that? Yeah. And I said, are you showing him that? Or are you going to play with it? He said, no, this is my list. Your list isn't Imperator class Titan, is it? Right. No, I'm calling that. No, you can't play with that in the store. Why? And I'm literally, I cannot believe this guy is arguing the point. But now that I think about it, he's in too deep now, isn't he? Because he's gone to his van or wherever it is outside. He's got this thing out. Now he's gonna have to be humiliated and wheeling it back out again. So he's gonna fight his corner, isn't he? So and when he says why, I look aghast at him. I'm like, this is a 4x4 table. That thing could shoot something in the rules in the next town over. It doesn't actually have range. You know what I mean? Like, the ranges are that long. Like, I don't know why. Why do you really need to fight this guy's 1,000 point list with that? Can he even? Have you done the maths with his list? Do you know that can he even kill that thing with what he's got? Well, probably. No, there's no probably about it. Like, does he have a chance of winning or doesn't he? And the kid's sitting there like, yeah, because the kid was quite competitive. Like, I knew him. He was quite, he liked to play the game, and he'd been to tournaments and things. And he was like, yeah, I'm not happy with this. I can't kill that. Anyway, this guy throws a complete hissy fit and says, I'm never coming back to the store again. This is my model. I'm like, no. By the way, that's not a Games Workshop model. We don't sell any of these parts. They're very nicely made, and I'll give you that. I'll grant you that. Maybe in another store they will let you, but I already pushed the line in this store of what's acceptable by HQ. If one of my bosses walks in and sees you, 1, playing with a 412 model would be bad enough, but 2, playing with something that isn't even a Games Workshop model, and 3, blasting one of our newest members off the table with something that you shouldn't be able to use in the store, I will get fired. So if you don't mind, if you have an army, please play it. If you don't, I'll be happy to lend you one. I have several store armies that I could lend you to play on the tabletop. I'm not supposed to, but, if you want to have a game, that's fine. By this stage, he's already wheeling his Titan out the door, and he's back in the rain. He's put it in his car, and he's in his van, he's driving away. I think that's the end of it. Right? Later on, I get a text from one of my trainers saying, have you been on Bell of Lost Souls lately? And I said no. And he said there is a thread on the Reddit of Bell of Lost Souls, or something of the description, saying, there's this store that hasn't let me play my Titan, blah, 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 and people were talking shit about the store. And they named the store too. So I was like, well, I'm not having that. And he said, no, don't entertain it. Don't go on there. That's what they want. I said, no, I'm not having this. So I went on there and said, hey, yeah, I'm actually the Games Workshop manager for that store. That's not what happened, categorically. Here's what happened. And I've never lost faith in certain parts of this hobby more. I was dogpiled. Absolutely dogpiled. Like, they wouldn't give me the time of day. And I literally laid out everything in my post saying, no, this is the truth of what happened. If you think that's reasonable, then fine, but you're not playing in my store. Like, I'm here to protect new gamers and get them into the game that you like. And if you think you coming in here and playing with something that isn't even Games Workshop, like, every point I made, as far as I'm concerned, was completely nice and logical, but, I didn't reply to anything after that. I just locked it, and just after the first like 8 or 9 replies that were just calling me fit to burn, I just locked it and discarded it, and okay, fine, I'll leave that up there. I've said my piece, and if anything, the trash took itself out, because like I If I knew any of these people, they weren't coming in my store, sort of a thing, you know. So thank God. Yes, do not come to this store because you're not welcome. People like you are not welcome here. You know, I just thought, yeah. So that was my first really bad, experience with both sides, and this is how lonely it gets in the hobby if you're working as a manager at Games Workshop, because not only was I being dogpiled by customers, you know, customers quote unquote, fans quote unquote, but also I had no backup from HQ. I would send them worried texts like, you know, what if people have a boycott or something? What if this happens or that happens? They didn't say anything to me. They didn't want to know. Basically, they just didn't text me back. I didn't get any sort of response or reply, and that was one of the moments where I was like, yeah, I'm done here. Like I'm, you know, one of the 20 odd moments where I just thought, fuck this. This isn't worth it. Now I know of a friend of mine who had a similar experience in another store, where he literally said, you know, if somebody came in here with my Titan, I wouldn't let them play it. And that guy also got dogpiled online and named and shamed, quote unquote, by these people. You know, so yeah, that's one of my horror stories from Games Workshop, from my days at Games Workshop. The Titan guy, something I always remember, and something that, you know, oh god, how awful. Anyway, that's one story for now. I'm going to have more as the days go on, but hopefully you enjoyed that one. I've mentioned it before in different live streams, but that is a fleshed out part of the story that you haven't heard before. So cheers, thanks for watching, and I'll speak to you guys next time.